Hi, I'm Linda from English Learning Mind Map. Today, we will learn about metropolitan expansion. Metropolitan expansion. To describe how new buildings spring up and the city starts to branch out, we use metropolitan expansion phrasal verbs. Basically, we are talking about how cities grow and change over time. Urban renewal. As a core pillar of metropolitan expansion, urban renewal helps to spruce up old neighborhoods and breathe life into dying districts. In simple terms, we are fixing up broken parts of town to make them look nice. District gentrification. District gentrification is a branch of urban renewal where developers choose to do up houses so that new, wealthy families can move in. This means renovating old buildings so people with more money can live there. Within district gentrification, rising rents can often push out local shops and drive away the people who lived there for years. To put it simply, high costs force the original residents to leave their homes. Site repurposing. Site repurposing serves as a functional layer of urban renewal where we can turn into a park what was once a factory or make over a warehouse. Essentially, we are giving an old, ugly building a brand new job. Adaptive reuse. Through adaptive reuse, workers must fit out the interior of an old station and put to use the space as a modern library. In other words, they're adding new lights and desks so an old room has a new purpose. Infrastructure overhaul. Infrastructure overhaul is a vital branch of metropolitan expansion used to rip up old roads and lay down new train tracks for the public. Basically, we are destroying the old stuff to build better paths for the city. Transit integration. Transit integration is a core part of infrastructure overhaul where different lines link up to speed up the daily commute. This means connecting the bus and the train so people can travel across the city much faster. Intermodal hubs. Under the umbrella of transit integration, intermodal hubs are where different bus routes meet up and smaller streets feed into the main station. To put it simply, it is the big spot where all the different travel paths join together. Utility modernization. Utility modernization is a functional layer of infrastructure overhaul used to switch over to digital water meters and beef up the power lines. In short, we are making the city's basic services stronger and more modern. Grid upgrading. Through grid upgrading, we can hook up more homes to solar energy and phase out the use of old coal power. Effectively, we are connecting new green energy and slowly getting rid of the dirty old systems. Residential growth. Residential growth is a critical requirement for metropolitan expansion as developers build up the center and the city starts to spread out. Effectively, the town is getting taller and wider at the same time. Housing density. Housing density is a strategy within residential growth used to pack in more apartments as the height of the skyline starts to go up. This involves trying to fit as many people as possible into a small city space. Vertical development. Under vertical development, massive skyscrapers tower over the small streets and sometimes block out light for the neighbors. To put it simply, giant buildings stand above the old houses and stop the sun from reaching the ground. Suburban sprawl. Suburban sprawl is a technical part of residential growth where the city will eat up the nearby fields and edge out the local wildlife. In simple terms, the houses are moving into the countryside and taking the animals' land. Greenfield construction. To manage greenfield construction, engineers must set up new sites and clear away the trees to make room for houses. This means starting a brand new building project where there used to be only nature. Environmental mitigation. Environmental mitigation is a fundamental goal of metropolitan expansion to deal with climate change and ward off natural disasters. Basically, we are protecting our cities from big problems like heat and storms. Flood protection. Flood protection is a core part of environmental mitigation used to hold back the river and help the ground soak up the extra rain. This means building barriers to stop the water from entering the city streets. Stormwater management. Within stormwater management, we watch how the rain will run off the concrete and eventually drain away into the pipes. In other words, We are making sure the water moves off the roads so the city doesn't flood. Air quality control. Air quality control is a practical goal of environmental mitigation used to cut down on smog and clean up the city's atmosphere. Essentially, we are reducing pollution so that the air is safe for everyone to breathe. Low emission zones. Under the umbrella of low emission zones, the city will keep out old cars and force heavy trucks to back off from the center. To put it simply, we are stopping dirty vehicles from coming into the city to keep the air fresh. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more English lessons.